Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to day two of the group stage of the United Draft Kingdom Invitational summer season. If we do end up doing more seasons, I am the British Paro, your host, and with me today, once again, I have Foz, the Croatian domination. Say hello.
Hello. It's get worse every time.
Yeah, it will continue to get worse. I'm going to at the people that are up first and let them know that links are coming soon. And while we do that, we'll just take a little bit of a look at what happened in Groups Day 1. So, in Group A, we had Unkraut coming out in first place, Kaiser in second, in third place, close behind third was just a Dutch person, and then Shula Shifty looking for a miracle comeback in week 2. And in Group B, we ended up with Sesio137 in first place, Yosh in second place, and then a tight race for third and fourth, with Major Modi 1 on 255 and Frehe on 225. So, we're going to be starting with Group C, first round robin, and then we're going to be doing the first round robin of Group D as well. So, playing in Group C, we've got Maton, Syko, NUODAICUBASHER, and Yeondu. Let's get these links sent out to Maton and Syko, and while I'm doing that, do you want to let the chat know if you've got any expectations for this group, Foz?
All right. I'll be honest, I have no idea about any of these people here, to be honest. Nothing against them, just I don't know, and I'm very sorry about that. But I'll get to know you through drafts. I wait. Actually, I know Maton and Yeondu a little bit. Okay, I think Maton had really good drafts, from what I know. Yeondu was a little bit iffy in some drafts, generally. But we'll see. Like, everyone prepare themselves. I don't want to say anything else. We'll see how it goes.
Absolutely. We've got one ready up already from the side of Syko. Oh, and Maton's ready. We're off. I sent you the spectate link in case you haven't opened it yet.
Let's go.
I did. Rumble ban? Okay.
Yep. Respect it.
So, for Groups A and B, in Groups Day 1, I think we quickly decided that the most prio champion was Karma. There was also Varus, which was 100% pick ban, but that was mostly permabanned. It got through twice and it won both drafts. But yeah, Karma seemed to be the most popular champion. I think Karma's especially good on red side as well, because you can do a... Oh, is Syko going to miss a ban? Looks like he missed a ban.
Yeah, he missed a ban.
I'll just ask him if everything's okay. Maton asked me if I should just take the no ban. Aurora ban. Okay, this is an Aurora ban.
Okay, so R1 is our R1 ban is Aurora. Okay.
Yeah, so this is Aurora, and then we get Ash. So far Varus is open, as is Karma. And as I was saying before the technical difficulties, I think Karma's stronger on red side slightly, because you can do this Karma Ezreal 1-2, and then it also blocks a lot of champions by threatening Olaf R3. There goes Karma. And just like last week, guys, if you are wondering, there is a 5-minute time delay. This is to prevent any participants from cheating by listening to the stream while doing their drafts. So what you are seeing is 5 minutes behind reality. But yeah. Okay, we get the Ezreal on B1. Varus is taken away. So this Ezreal, mid-bot flex, very, very strong champion individually. One of his favourite lane partners in Karma is taken away, but the other is Leona, which has also been a very high prio champion and could look to Ivern and Leona 1-2 right now. I think that would be quite strong, right?
Yeah. This would be a very good response, having Leona as well. Being shown. Could be Zeri Ivern as well. It's also not bad.
Yeah. But with Zeri Ivern, you then give blue side the opportunity to play Leona with the Ezreal. It's a very, very strong lane duo as well.
Yes.
Zyra. Interesting. So I do quite like Zyra into Ezreal. It does make landing his Qs a lot more difficult with the plants being around.
But here you can just go Leon Ivan then.
Yes,
so
I think
that's
Leon
kind of a
Ivan
bad
would be probably the best line.
idea. Yes.
Probably for both teams, honestly. It just looks really good in general. Leona? Okay.
There we go.
So I would be leaning towards this Ezreal going bot, but obviously it can still go mid. The reason is just that Ezreal Leona is such a powerful lane. Let me just check all the sound settings.
Oh.
Okay, we're doing a double flex. So we're flexing Ezreal and Draven. Draven probably wants to follow Zeri. One thing is he can be a little awkward to play into Zyra. Since he kind of struggles to get into auto range of her.
Draven is an interesting pick. And there you go, you have a Braum. You just slam Zeri Braum on bot lane here, you're golden.
Yeah, you're fine into both
Totally fine,
lanes.
yeah. And then you can draft around Ezreal or Draven mid here. So I don't really like the Draven pick. But definitely go for Ivern ban here on red as well.
Yes, I think so too. It would still be the best jungle champ.
Yeah.
Malphite ban. Interesting.
Okay.
So we're looking at something AD on 4, I guess? Maybe... No, we're not looking for Smolder, because Smolder into Draven is not going to have a good time.
Nasus ban is decent. R4 Nasus would be a thing.
It could be Yasuo mid with Zyra, or Yone.
Yasuo mid would go ham here, not gonna lie. Regardless of his Ezreal or Draven.
I actually think Nasus is way better for blue side here than red, with red having Zeri and blue having Ezreal.
And then
Okay,
PP bans.
looking at the Smolder read, I was thinking of that as well, but because of the Malphite ban. But I don't think Smolder wants to be picked because it's playing into Draven, and that's a really nasty lane.
This is a really good Yasuo angle. A really good Yasuo angle, and wrap it up like with a very good top laner, potentially.
Maybe like an Ornn or a Gragas. So just something to facilitate your Yasuo.
Yeah. Like anything with the knockup, maybe.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be knockup. You have Zyra and Braum already. It's like, it's okay.
That's true.
Zaya. Zeri's going mid. Oh, this is just playing into a counter then, which is bad.
The difficulty you have now is you're playing against Ezreal and there's no engage on the side of red. So if blue were to draft full range, let's say they pick like a Jace top lane and a Karthus jungle or something, it's actually very difficult.
I don't know how I ever got to this point.
I agree. Ivern is also very, very strong.
I know we need to round it up with something with proper engage, I would say. Proper lockup, proper front line-ish.
I don't really like this Ivern line, though, now that you see Xayah. I think you could punish Xayah with, like, Karthus plus something. Because there's just no engage on the side of... Yeah, Ornn into Braum as well. It's kind of awkward to make him work.
It's not, like, horrible, but it's bad.
The difficulty I'm seeing here is Draven doesn't have very good access to targets. It's very... It looks very Ezreal versus the world.
You there?
Me? Yeah, I'm here. Are you there?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Never mind.
And we go Gragas. Okay, that makes it even harder for Draven to find targets. I think we have
Zeri top.
Yeah, I mean, Zeri looks kind of nasty here.
We need to get lane assignments because, like, the problem, like for Draven, is problem to walk up, right? But the thing is, if he's laning into Zeri, it doesn't matter. He's just gonna roll.
I mean, I would
I don't
assume
think.
I've asked for lane assignments on red, but I would assume it looks fairly obvious.
I think assigning your lane is part of the skill as well. So let's see.
Yeah, so blue is Ornn, Ivan, Draven, Ezreal, Leona, and red is Gragas, Zyra, Zeri, Xayah, Braum. Okay, what are you thinking? Because I think there's actually a little bit too much requirement on Ezreal. It's an interesting one because no one on red can really kill Ezreal, but then only Ezreal has good access to targets on blue.
This is an interesting one. But
It's
then you
quite
also have Leona
stalemate.
Ivern.
Yeah,
You have Leona Ivern. You have Pryobot. I would assume you have Pryobot. You have Pryobot
you
with
have
this, I
Prio bot, you
think.
have Prio mid.
Yeah.
You top is fairly even in terms of Prio.
Yeah. Well, like, do we have confirmation that Zeri is mid or top?
Yes, Zeri is mid.
Okay, if Zeri is mid, this is I'd say blue favorite then, because if you have so much prio there, you can run crazy with this Leona. I don't think Ezreal ever dies to this bot lane, and Leona just wins the map. And you have Draven. Leona is pretty much support for Draven. Like both of them are support for Draven. I think you would have to put something else mid here, honestly.
Okay, yeah. I mean, the thing
For
what blue has
blue,
going for it is winning lanes, and then
yeah.
uh, red. I think if you go into the game even in gold, red can for sure win a team fight. It's very difficult for blue to actually like they don't have a lot of damage in the first place. They only have Ezreal and Draven, and then Draven has very limited target access. So to me, it comes down to how much do I value the early power of blue's draft.
I think I value it a lot because it can be played through mid game as well. I don't think it's just restricted to early game. I feel like Draven getting any cash in, getting like any sort of advantages. I don't think the comp itself can stop that, even if it's hard for him to auto attack because he's going to be that far ahead. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think
I mean, he
it's
should be far ahead. Yeah, I don't think you can avoid getting ahead if you're playing Zeri mid. There's like no way, right?
oh, he's definitely going to have a lead for sure.
Yeah.
I would probably rate this fairly close because I think it's pretty execution based. For example, like Zeri has the opportunity to just take over if she gets any form of gold. There's not a great deal of threat on Zeri. There's like Leona, and that's kind of it. So as long as she doesn't get engaged on by Leona somehow, she has a Gragas and a Braum protecting her, and they have to run through Zyra plants, and they have to run through Xayah feathers. But then again, Ezreal is completely untouched. Like, there's literally, aside from maybe like a Gragas ult, there is no engage whatsoever on red. So Ezreal's a demon, Zeri's a bit of a demon. But yeah, blue definitely favored in the early game, and I would probably give that a little bit of a weighting. So I'm thinking fairly close, like 60 or 55 or something, because I do think it's quite close overall. Maybe I go 60.
I'm going 60 for blue.
Okay, we're in agreement.
I'm not. Yeah, I think it's just favorites. I think it's not hard stomping. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like I think this game can end in 15 minutes though, easily. If it doesn't, it's gonna be much harder for blue, but they can still play. So
Okay, I've let the
it's
next
not
two
that
know
hard.
that the links are coming out. So I'll start setting that up, and we can just do some closing thoughts on this draft.
Mhm.
Okay, let's pop this here. Send you this link, and then I'll send out the links to. Have I got the sides the right way around? Yes, I have. Good. Okay, links have been sent, so whenever they're ready, the draft will begin. So we've got Maton with a small lead so far, but Syko getting a respectable amount of points from the first draft. It's, there's not much in it. There's only 40 points between them after one draft. Still entirely all to play for. Okay,
I feel like
UDKI,
if he...
both ready.
Oh, okay, sorry, never mind.
If he what? It's okay, we've got time while the first band's coming.
No, I think if Fred opted for more aggressive R4, R5, I think would be much better. Because the Draven Ezreal has been shown. Something like Yasuo again. Yasuo with that amount of knockcaps and then having a good lane into Draven as well would be good. And then rounding off with a good counter on R5.
Yeah, I think Desire was, to me, the biggest blunder in that draft. Okay, I was gonna say, is this a Zeri B1 because of the Nasus ban on blue side? And it is a Zeri B1 because of the Nasus ban. Responding with Maokai, very quick draft so far.
Yeah, very quick drafts.
Oh wow, instant Silas into the Maokai Ziggs.
Yeah.
Good ultimates
this
available.
Guy has all of my respect.
Yeah, I like it. I like Silas into Maokai a lot.
However, do we get a proper response to Silas? Usually you would think something like Casio is a really good response. However, Casio doesn't
AP.
really good in the full AP environment, and there's also Zeri Lulu shown, which she's also not that great. She's playing way too behind for Casio to actually impact her.
We saw a lot of Maokai with Silas response in 2022, I think, actually. And Tristana is not the pick that would get picked. It was Jace that was picked because it had a winning lane into the Silas, didn't give him a good ultimate, and then you're playing Jace Maokai, which was a really nice mid jungle. But we end up with the Tristana instead.
Renekton mid into Silas is really good.
Renekton, yeah, you could maybe play Renekton.
Yeah, because you're already showing a lot of AP. You're also flexing a champion, so you don't have to lock him in, but it's really good into Silas specifically. Tristana is not it. I don't think Tristana can actually lane against Silas anymore.
This is a fast draft. We're looking to play full disengage on the side of... Oh no, maybe we're not. But we banned Vi and Poppy, so we don't want them to have Vi here. Banning Blitz and Naught makes sense. You've got an Enchanter in bot lane, and you're playing with the Ziggs. The Ziggs would enable a lot of roaming from these two champions. Alistar, okay.
Oh, yeah, into Silas?
Oh my god, yep. Okay, I mean, one, it's into Lulu, which Lulu murders him in lane. And then two, you've just given Silas... I mean, Silas's ult access this game is crazy. I think when Silas is level 16, he will be an absolute monster. Also, Cassante, one of the better blinds in the game. And now Ivern.
Ivern as well for me.
Yeah.
I don't hate Ivern Silas, by the way, with its double AP. It's actually pretty good. Silas is one of the best skirmish champions in the game if he has a champion alongside him that can play.
Yeah.
And Ivern is definitely one of the champions.
And you have a very well-balanced comp on blue side. You have a hyper carry, you have a scaling tank, you have like a skirmisher, and then you have two enchanters to play with them. And Camille into Cassante, that's pretty respectable. It's one of the better matchups. One of the best matchups.
It's cutting off for me, by the way. I don't know if it's for stream as well, but for me personally, you're cutting off a little bit.
Okay, let me...
It's like you don't finish the sentence. Over.
I don't know. Is it any better now?
I mean, it doesn't happen often, like non-stop, but it does. Like you say something, and then it's like you're trying to finish the sentence or not. I'm not sure.
I'll keep an eye on it. Okay. So, 1 second. You go first because I need to shut this door. 1 second.
Okay. Here I think blue is heavily favored. Syla has up.
Okay, I think it just happened to you as well. I think it might be a Discord
really well
issue.
answered. Yeah, I think so too.
That's kind of awkward because you just went quiet.
Yeah, there you go. That's happened to you too for me.
Huh. Let me try calling you instead of being in the server, and we'll see if it makes it any better.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay, hopefully that resolves some of the issues.
Stuff was awkward, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, carry on.
I'll just wait for like 2 minutes for you to finish the sentence. Yeah. So basically, I think blue favored heavily. I think not like super hard, like 70-30, I would say. There's still playability on the red side. Sylas can mess up stuff. You still have Ziggs Tristana, which is really strong into towers. So like getting early grubs by some miracle would just like elevate this team to a height, because you have Camille, Tristana, Ziggs hitting towers. That's insane. That's really good. Like, right? On paper, like just in vacuum is really good. However, into these set of champions and the way they're playing, I don't think it's good enough. Like what I liked about Red here is that like they have a clear plan on how they want to play. They have a comp that functions perfectly, right? In a vacuum, though. Comparatively to the Blue, I think Blue answered really well a lot of these questions, right? And I think they're favored. If everything just plays out that you kind of want to play out, I think Blue comes on top. So like 70-30. I wouldn't rate it like super highly favored towards Blue, more like even 90-10 or like 80-20, because Red can play. Red can definitely play the game. Yeah, that's my thoughts.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking something similar. In my head, I had 75-25. I'm thinking Sylas is going to be an absolute demon, and it like artificially inflates the scaling of Blue Draft to a point that it wouldn't ordinarily be at. They already have Cassante, Iva, and Zeri with Lulu. Zeri is... You're kind of hoping that like Camille can get on her, but I don't see much of a way that you're killing Zeri through Iva and Lulu. Like maybe Camille with Ziggs ult on top and like Maokai ult manages to hit her or something. But also, like, Sylas, as we've talked about, is a demon in this draft. Cassante is going to be a kind of a demon, but Camille's going to win side. It's definitely playable for Blue. I think the Camille pick is really good. It gives them a lot of options. I think the worst pick for me is probably the Alistar. If that was just something else, it could have been a lot closer.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think Tristana and Alistar as well.
Yeah.
I think, again, if you pick Renekton here, you're chilling. You're chilling because you're flexing mids. Like Sylas can only go mid. He cannot jungle. He cannot top lane. He cannot lanes. Like if Sylas is being picked and he's going to other lanes, he's trolling. It's only mid laner. And if you go answer that mid laner with a specific pick, like Renekton, for example, it goes really hard on him. Like it absolutely annihilates that lane. And you can just flex it. So if the enemy picks something into Renekton good, right? You just counter that pick, or you can. It just leaves so much freedom in the draft. That's why I think Tristana pick was bad, because again, it loses to Sylas. Sylas, that's the Sylas favorite lane, and Alistar is also Alistar ult on Sylas, just insane.
Yeah, it's insane. He literally can't die while it's active, essentially. So yeah, I'm thinking 75-25. What were you thinking?
70-30, I would say.
70-30? Okie dokie.
Yeah.
We'll lock those
the
in.
The only reason is, again, vacuum. Vacuum red looks really good. Like literally, like it's perfect champions. Like what they want to do,
Yeah.
So I respect that. That's why not the highest score for Blue.
Okay. Next up we have Syko and NUODAICUBASHER. I'll be sending out the draft links now. That one for Syko. And that one for Mr. Long name. And when they're ready, we will begin. Okay, Syko's ready. And NUODAI is also ready. Here we go. Let's see how... So NUODAICUBASHER just won the draft with the Sylas thing, and he also drafted very quickly on blue side. Let's see how he adapts for red side. So his bans were Nasus, Leona, and something else, and then he picked Zeri.
Draven, yeah.
So let's see what his read is on red side.
He did ban preemptive Draven, so he can B1 Zeri easier. Which I respect,
it was Draven, Nasus, Leona. Okay, so his bans were very much set up for his B1.
Yeah. Let's see here. Pretty standard bans so far.
Varus open.
Very... And Syko hates AP junglers.
Definitely.
AP top laner in particular.
Maybe looking for like a Sejuani or a Maokai B1 or something. But if it's a Maokai, there's still Sylas available. Okay, Varus B1. Okay, Varus. Ezreal, okay.
I don't like that answer.
I would probably have looked for Jarvan plus something and then play with the potential to pick Yasuo on 3. Since neither of Jarvan or Yasuo were banned, which are probably the best answers into Varus.
I think you just slam Yasuo already. And if the enemy goes Poppy...
oh, you picked Poppy yourself. Interesting.
I guess then you go Yasuo.
Yeah, I mean, Poppy does bring him knockups. It's not the worst synergy in the world.
Okay. Maybe it's Jarvan, R3. Let's see if
Poppy
they pick
and
into
Jarvan.
Yeah, Poppy Jarvan is really strong combo. Yeah, that's a Jarvan. No, Jarvan. I mean, but Varus mid into Sylas sounds horrible for Sylas. You want R4 Jarvan.
Yeah, true. Sylas would really struggle into Varus mid lane.
Yep.
He does have very, very nice ults here, though.
He does.
Jace taken away. Okay, he's expecting an AD mid to come in, but potentially not considering that it could just be Varus in mid lane.
You just want Jarvan here, please. R4 Jarvan. And it's playable.
Definitely playable with an R4 Jarvan.
Yeah, you have Sylas ults, like Seraphine. You have Jarvan, Poppy. Holy shit. It's really hard to get out of that.
Also, you could still play Yasuo. It does kind of have to go top, but you can think about it on R5 because look at the wind wall value this game.
Oh, that's a Poppy.
It has to be. It has to be Ezreal Poppy bot lane. Oh, I guess it could be Poppy top, but then it's blind.
It doesn't really stop like what's like it's really hard to get on this Varus. Like it's impossible so far.
Yeah, there's only Sylas threatening him.
Yeah, but you also have Maokai and Seraphine behind him as well, so it's really hard to one-shot him even. And he can go Edge of Night, you know, that kind of tech. Oh, okay.
Whoa.
That's Varus stop then.
Yeah, so now you just go Yasuo top, and then I think it's 1.
Yeah. I don't know about 1, but it's really good. If you go... Yeah, it's weird. Because if you go Yasuo, you are playing into Taric, you are playing into Maokai.
Yeah,
it's not ideal for Yasuo.
But still. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, okay.
I like this. Okay, so I'm assuming. Okay, I've already got lane assignments. Varus, Mao, Serra, Zeri, Taric. So it's Seraphine mid.
Yes.
And
that's terrible.
Yeah, so it's going to be. I'm assuming Yasuo, Ivan, Sylas, Ezreal, Poppy. I think I'm favoring red. I think Windwall has an insane amount of value. Yasuo has more access to Windwall than ever before because his second item is now Navori after Ruin King, and then he goes IE third. So he has like a 4-second cooldown Windwall as long as he has uptime, which he has Maokai and Taric to hit, so he does have uptime. Your Sylas and Yasuo have Ivern supporting them, so they're a lot harder to kill than they ordinarily would be, and the damage on blue is already very limited. And then Ezreal is essentially untouched again. Aside from that, Sylas is fine into Seraphine, right? There's no issue with that.
Sylas is winning into Seraphine.
Okay, your Ezreal Poppy is going to be winning into Zeri Taric. Ezreal is just a lot stronger than Zeri in the lane and gets push. And then obviously Yasuo is the best lane into Varus. So I think for me, this is the first Varus draft loss, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think so too. That's literally the worst thing possible for Blue to do. I think this is the worst scenario for R5 and like B4, B5. I think you messed up way too hard. I think when you see like champions like Iron, Sylas, Poppy, Ezreal, no one's really getting on top of your Varus at the moment. So there's no reason to move him to another lane where he could get questioned or he could get collapsed on or engaged on. and getting him behind in the lane, I think it's really bad because you did draft around him already. You put Maokai Seraphine, right? It does say like, yeah, my Varus is gonna be an enormous monster here. So what you want to do is basically you want to B4 or B5 a champion that's good into Poppy. So Poppy doesn't really flex towards top, right?
Yep.
And then the R5 has very, very less meaning, right? So even if you go support into Varus Seraphine, with Ezreal, there's really hard lane to ever like catch up to. So if you're just Varus Seraphine bot, or even if it's Varus mid, you just need to make sure that Poppy doesn't get a good matchup top. So she's not being flexed up, and that's it. So that's the only thing or like issue for you to, you could have gone for Cassio, you could have gone for any kind of tanky champion that's just really okay to be blind pick. Like I think here Cassante would actually rock a lot. I don't think Cassante can be killed if you see like Ezreal, Poppy, Sylas, Ivern. I don't think you can kill Cassante without champions. So something like that, I think it's overcooking. Zeriteric is just overcooking, like messing up every lane assignment. Yasuo just annihilates Varus, by the way. That's the only like matchup that Varus doesn't really want to play into. And when you combine that with Ivern, it's really hard. So I would give this to Red, because you did mess up on Blue really hard. So Red kind of pulled back off. I would say like 70-30.
That's
Red,
exactly the same I was thinking of. I was thinking 70-30 because I think it's Red favored, but not quite as one-sided as the last one. So I was thinking just take 5 away from what I rated the last one.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So that's 3 out of 6 of the first drafts done for Group C. We're moving on to Yeondu versus Maton next. Let's get that onto this screen, and then I'll start sending the links out. Why does it not want to? There we go. Got it. Right, spectator link to Boz.
Thank you.
Then we have blue link going over to Yeondu. And then we have red link going over to Matt. And then we're ready.
See how this goes. Yeondu had a nice draft in the vacuum, by the way. So really like probably the best synergy I've seen champions together. But he did lose the draft. So
I remember.
Tell you, yeah.
Okay,
that's the
right.
to tell you that. Yeah, sorry. 5. What?
What are we looking to B1 if we're? Is it like a smolder B1 maybe?
Possible.
Oh no, Smolder's banned on blue side. Interesting. This is a champion that I don't think we've seen enough of in this tournament so far, is Smolder. The champion's very, very good, and it can punish a lot of these, like that last draft we saw. In fact, in quite a few of them, right? There was little to no engage, and they're looking to just play defensively. Smolder can just freely play into that.
Yep. I agree. All right. Sylas ban as well. Interesting. Maokai first pick.
B1.
We have Leona Ivern. I would snatch that immediately, and it opens a very, very good Olaf angle as well.
Yeah, true. It certainly does.
Blue picks really.
We're going Ezreal. You could maybe Ezreal Leona and then look for Ivern, because there's no way that Blue are going to take Ivern with Maokai already locked.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen the double tree comp. Maybe you could go Maokai, Ivern, Zyra, B1, B2, B3. Just triple tree. If you can't tell, I'm joking. Okay, there's Ivern. So you could now snatch away the Leona. on blue.
Okay, but Yeondu is doing his thing. He's just picking the same champions here. He will look for something like Tristana as well. Braum, very defensive on red side. Very, very defensive.
Yeah, I think so. For like here, if Smolder wasn't banned, this is an insane Smolder angle. There is another champ, the other dragon that scales infinitely, that would also be equally insane here. But you would need to pick up some physical damage somewhere, like from your top laner, if you were going to go for that. Something like a Gangplank, although Gangplank into Ezreal is never ideal.
Very defensive drafts in general.
Yeah, but this group has
Leona
been
is the only
very
one
defensive.
Yeah.
Overall. Okay. Actually, the MF being taken away with Braum locked on red side, I'm not sure about that one.
Makes no sense. Yeah, it makes no sense.
If this R4 doesn't bring engage, I would be looking for something like ASOL plus really heavy AD top. You could do ASOL Renekton. You could do ASOL Gangplank would be okay. ASOL Gnar is fine. You'll definitely need some physical damage. Okay. I mean, you can counterpick top with an AD champ. You could maybe go Camille ASOL. That looks like a really nice line. Yeah.
Yeah. Camille is really good. I don't know about ASOL because it is a blind. Okay, Chase. Let's cook it.
Okay. I mean, no one's engaging onto your Ziggs Jace, and your Jace is bringing Serpent's Fang value into the Ivan. Jace Maokai as well. And Fiora.
Camille. Go Camille, please.
Camille is just a better... Like, everything Fiora wants to do here, Camille does it. But then she also locks down Ezreal for, like, Ziggs ults and stuff like that.
Yeah, way better. Yeah, nice.
Perfect. It's also actually... Okay. It's actually a better matchup into Cassante than Fiora is.
Okay. Yeah. Very strong side lane here. Like, Red has huge problem with damage here. Huge problem.
They also have a huge problem with ever touching Ziggs or Jace.
Yeah, so let's see how they run this up. I don't hate it, to be honest.
Interesting.
I don't hate it. I think it's good answer, but is it enough is a question. Ivan Cassio is really good, by the way. And I mean, combine that with Braum in front of you as well. It's really good. Yeah, it's good. It's like even into Jace, I think she just kills Jace, by the way. Pretty sure how that matchup goes. Jace can of course poke and do stuff from afar, but then he just lose a little bit of pride then.
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't necessarily die.
It's interesting. We have a much... Well, I would say much stronger. It's mostly because Braum is looking to play purely reactively, but bot lane is going to be able to get more done on blue side. Top lane is heavily blue side favoured. Unless this is some weird Cassante mid angle. No, Cassante, Ivan, Cassiopeia, Ezreal, Braum. And then...
I'm thinking 65 here for blue because I think like it would be like 75 for blue, but Cassio kind of brings it back a little bit lower. I think Cassio is a good pick here. I think you already lost draft pretty hard. I don't think R5 can compensate enough. This is like the maximum damage you can get out, and like actually okay lane. I don't know why. Can you do anything R5 here?
Anything better?
Like you need R5. A lot of damage. A lot of damage. That's the problem. You need a lot of damage. Because your team is vegan at the moment.
I'm thinking it's awkward because of Maokai Leona. If Maokai Leona were different things, you could maybe play like Aurelia. Or Yasuo or something like that, but they get locked down really easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Cassio is the best. I'm trying to think of other options. you could potentially play like Hui. I think Hui is a very strong champion. Smolder would actually not be great with like playing.
Older is banned as well.
Ah, yeah, true. Asol, I think it's too difficult to play into Leona, Camille, Maokai, so it's not that. So maybe it is Cassiopeia.
Because this Cassandra dies easily. Well, not easily, but he dies.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to play this path for red. I think Cassio is like the best pick there, but you're still hard losing in my opinion. 65-35 in my opinion, and that's generous, I think.
For me, Ivan is doing a lot to hold this draft together for red side because he's mitigating a lot of the poke of Ziggs, Maokai, Jace. If it wasn't for Ivan, they would just be getting blasted from outside their range and have nothing they can do about it. At least Ivan can redemption them back up with Moonstone Redemption. He can drop shields on people to absorb shock blasts and stuff like that. But I still think it's blue favored. Camille is going to be a nightmare with only Cassio able to really stop her at all. She's going to be very strong, given that she's got the hard winning matchup. And then Ziggs, Jace, Maokai are just freely poking you on repeat, and you have no engage on blue.
Yep. It's really hard to play blue here. It's very vegan. I guess if blue just mindlessly walk into you and, play like that, you have a chance. But you just play with the range of Ziggs, Jace. You poke out a little bit. They can block, but you push them out eventually anyways, so it's really hard to play. Maokai ult huge as well. Really hard to play against them.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, what are you thinking score-wise?
65-35. Again, it's because of Cassio pick that I give generous towards red a little bit.
Okay, yeah, I think the same. And I think it's also the Ivan that is holding it together. Oops, I did it the wrong way around. I'm silly. 1 second. Yeah, 65 blue, 35 red. Okay, we've got a fairly close group so far. We've got a couple of drafts left to go, and then we'll see how the scores line up. So for our next draft, we have Syko versus Yeondu. Slide this onto the screen. There we go. And then I'll send you the link. Oops, didn't want to open that. Wanted to copy it. There we go. Yeondu. There we go. Links have been sent, and we're just waiting for the participants to ready up. Let's have a look at the chat. Fiora is better there if Ivan was on your side? I don't agree. I think Camille is just a better version. Okay, we've begun. Ashban. It's always interesting to try to guess what the B1's going to be based on the bans we see. What do you think it could be with an Ashban? Maybe a Caitlyn?
I think just Ash generally is a strong pick, so that's why. I don't know about Tristana ban though.
Ziggs taken away. Brand taken away. Normally when I see Brand ban, I'm assuming some sort of tank jungle, because he's very, very good at playing into tank jungle. He just outpaces them and destroys them in every team fight. Can also be mid lane Brand, but that's a lot weaker than it used to be. Okay, it's Karma. Karma makes it through. There's no Ezreal available, but I think Yeondu now has to be careful. Let's say he goes Ivan Leona, which is a very popular R1, R2, then Olaf comes in.
Yep. But I guess theoretically you can play against Olaf, no?
You can, yeah. You could do something like Zeri as your R3. Zeri's very, very good at dealing with the Olaf. But Ivan and Leona, in isolation, are very weak to it. Did Yeondu miss a pick? Okay. Gonna have to ask him what the pick is. It's Jarvan R1. I've told Syko. Jarvan Smolder. Interesting. What do you think about just sending a Yone here?
Sending a Yone.
Here's my theory on it, right? If Smolder ends up going into a solo lane, Yone follows it and destroys it. If Smolder ends up going bot, you already have Karma, so you're going to destroy it in lane with whatever you pick alongside Karma.
I guess you can do that.
Okay, Seraphine. We're looking quite vegan on blue side again, so... and also both weak to Jarvan.
Yeah, we're drafting into Jarvan. We're Spoopy.
And now we have a handshake, well, potentially a handshake mid into Smolder. So Smolder, if Zeri goes mid, Smolder can get a free lane. And also if Seraphine goes mid, Smolder gets a free lane.
I think pretty much that one of these are going mid.
Yep.
Very vegan at the moment. What? Okay.
I mean, it's good into Karma and Seraphine, not great into Zeri. No enchanter to support it.
It's not great with all with your German pick as well.
Yeah, you can't pick Ivern now. It's hard to find like what enchanters are left? There's Soraka, there's Taric.
Lulu, I guess.
Lulu?
Lulu's okay.
Oh, there's also Melio. These options just aren't as good as Karma and Seraphine and Ivern. Xante banned away is interesting, given that you have Olaf in top lane. Gangplank banned away. Okay, yeah. Makes sense, given that you have Olaf in top lane. And 2 enchanters taken away. Interesting that we see the Ivern ban. That would mean that Jarvan is going into a lane somehow. Or Ivern is going into a lane somehow. But still, 2 enchanters taken away. Probably like Lulu Soraka would have been better bans. Okay, Leona. We're very much looking to go in on red side with this Smolder as like late game inevitability, I guess. Like an insurance policy.
Yeah.
Another thing about Smolder is this is a champ that has good access to Serpent's Fang. Like, he can perma-apply it with his AoE and his true damage burn. He can apply it to everyone with his ult. And obviously it's Karma Seraphine. Serpents has insane value. Sedge Sivir. Okay, we're playing Sivir Karma bot with... Wait, who is Zeri top into Olaf? Okay. Zeri top into Olaf. I can kind of see that. The problem is, I don't see how you get much done on blue side. And Smolder, I think, is really scary this game.
Isn't it Karma top here?
But then you're playing... Oh, Seraphine... Yeah, Seraphine Sivir bot. You pick Jhin. Interesting.
Okay, we need to know lane assignments here.
What do you think? Yeah, we do need to know lane assignments. Both of them are typing on Discord, so that's good. I think, like, MF would have been pretty nice.
Yeah, I like Jhin too here. I don't think Jhin's bad, to be honest.
Okay.
A lot of lane prio. You can play with you play with Jarvan here, right? Leona Jarvan, and then Jhin. It's good. I think it's good.
Okay, so blue side. Red side is exactly what you would expect. Olaf, Jarvan, Smolder, Jhin, Leona.
Yeah.
Blue side is Zeri, Sejuani, Sivir, Seraphine, Karma.
Okay. Sivir mid into Smolder. It's neutral lane, whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's Smolder favorite because he just tags. Zeri top. I don't know about that actually.
I mean, it can't lose into all. Like in a vacuum, it's very good into Olaf. It's hard for Jarvan to gank it as well.
Okay.
I think I prefer Zeri top to Karma top actually. It just makes, by picking Sivir, it makes it kind of awkward the way.
Okay. All right, let's save Zeri top, and then we have Seraphine Karma bot set. Now that bot is gonna die on repeat the entire game.
Into Jhin Leona with Jarvan jungle as well. Yeah, I agree. And then the other problem that I have for blue is that, like, what do you do about Smolder? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
blue is so like not proactive that the game will go late. Like this game is going late. Smolder has a free farm in lane. Like this guy is going to have an immense number of stacks, and he's going to queue you. He's going to queue like Sejuani, and he's just going to burn your entire team. And yeah, he's just a demon the later the game goes, and nothing's threatening him really. Like there's like Sedge, but as long as Leona or Olaf or Jarvan is stood anywhere near him, it's really hard for Sedge to find access onto this guy alone. So I'm thinking red right now. What about you?
Red, definitely. It's like 70-30 red, I would say.
Okay.
I don't think this blue. I don't like enchanters when there's like no good bruiser or someone that likes to play up front and does like a little bit more damage than usual. Something like, for example, just an example would be Graves, right? Meanwhile, you have these, they're standing back, they're going to do the same thing, so you might as well bring in something else for them. If that makes sense.
Yeah, so something that I might look at into Jarvan Smolder is look to go like Wukong or something in jungle. Or or Zinzao, right? With the double enchanter.
Could be Zinzao. Yeah, could be Zinzao.
But yeah, we're not really doing much on blue side. It's very passive. There's, it's another one of those drafts as well where we only have Sedge to frontline, and she's getting melted by Smolder. Not early, but as soon as Smolder gets 225, he's just melting her. I think this, aside from, there's two main issues, right? One you touched on is that Jhin Leona are going to murder the enemy bot lane, and Jarvan is going to just ult them, and they can't do anything about it. And then the second one is Smolder is untouched. I don't like Olaf in this draft. Olaf is the pick that I don't like from red side. There's no support for him. There's no synergy with Olaf.
Yeah, it just doesn't go well with, like, Jarvan wants to Ardent.
Yeah, and then Olaf can't get in.
And it's like, what? Yeah. It's really like, yeah. I mean, that's the part why Jarvan counters Olaf, but you can see he counters him in his own team as well.
Yeah. Okay, so what did you say for score?
I said 70, didn't I?
Yeah, I think
I got 75 actually. 75-25.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say I think 75. But I didn't know whether I was being too harsh.
I think it's fair.
Okay. So it's 25 blue, 75 red, 25 blue, 75 red. Yeah, so one thing that we've been seeing a lot in this group is a general lack of sort of proactivity or frontline, and then, like I said before, Smolder would be a good pick into a lot of what's happening in this group, and then Smolder comes in and there's no threat on it, and it just takes over. Okay. The final draft of Group C, and then we can see after week 1 how the scores are working out. Let me set this up. We've got a new draft. So on blue, we're having Maton, and on red, we're having NUODAICUBASHER, who I think is in... Okay, he's not in first place right now, Yeondu is, but he's still got one more draft to do. So I think this, unless Maton pulls something out of the bag, like really good right now, I think we're looking at a Yeondu and NUODAICUBASHER topping out the group the first round robin. But we'll see if Maton can bring something spicy out. Clip that in there. Send the link to the fours.
Thank you.
Let me send these links. Okay. And as soon as the participants are ready, we'll get into the final draft of this group of the first round robin. We've still got round 2 next week. Same goes for every group. This week it's just the first round robin. So no matter what happens this week, everything is still to play for moving into group 2. Very, very difficult for anyone to be eliminated from the competition in week 1. And we have begun. Ezreal. Maybe a Nasus B1? See, if I was B1 in Nasus, I'd ban like Ezreal, Jarvan, Olaf.
I don't think too many people draft around the fact what they want to be one, and that's a problem. I think the only one that did that was
It was NUODAI with the Zeri, I think.
yeah, with the Zeri pick with the Draven ban and like Nasus Draven ban. Yeah. I think everyone else just bans what they don't want to be in a draft.
But that's more of a red side thing than a blue side thing.
Yeah.
Varus, Karma, these are the two most popular picks of the tournament. Both taken away. I think both still have 100% presence. Not sure about Karma, but Varus definitely 100% presence.
Yeah, I think Karma is as well.
Yeah, I think so. Zeri taken away? So it's not a Nasus B1.
See what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, the blue side bans are just 3 generically strong champions. And Smolder gone on red side. Okay, straight up with the Ashe. Interesting banning Rumble with the Ashe. Maybe worried about a Jarvan Rumble response, but Rumble, a champion that synergizes extremely well with Ashe.
It should be easy. Ivern. Okay, Jarvan. I would say Ivern. Yeah, I mean, Jarvan is also good, to be honest. Maybe not this early in the draft, because he can walk into a Poppy.
Yeah,
I guess you can go Jarvan Poppy. So,
what AD carry would you look at here with Varus gone, Ashe gone, Ezreal gone, Zeri gone, Smolder gone? Maybe like Jhin? MF? Oh, yes, MF. Yeah.
But I think you don't pick MF then here.
Okay, straight into
I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that. And now you have MF open, and you need to go, like, literally, you need to go Poppy Braum here to stop that.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, you have to blind Braum to not get MF into Braum ban.
Yeah.
But if you do that, then Red can just pivot away from engage, start picking more range.
Yes.
Aurelion Sol.
I'm not a huge fan of that, I'll be honest.
Interesting. Aurelion Sol Leona. Do you just send the MF? I think probably, right?
You do. 100%. This is MF angle.
And you get whichever support you want. I think Rel looks really good on 4.
Yeah.
You do Misfortune Rel or Misfortune Amumu.
Yeah. You definitely ban Poppy then. So.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely Poppy ban.
I would go MF.
Definitely. Draven? Okay, I mean, it kind of makes sense. Also, no, there's no way it flexes into mid with Orianna. Orianna's mid.
Yeah, no.
100%.
Yeah, no, Orianna's mid. Yeah.
There's the Poppy
ban. It could technically be support, but yeah, Poppy ban is good.
I'm like...
Should probably Ivern ban as well, because Ivern is still up.
Yeah. You want to rel it here, I think. You could Nautilus it as well, but I think you want to rel it on red.
Rel is better than Nautilus for sure.
Yeah. You could also Rakan it.
Yeah, Rakan looks good too. Has a little bit more access to Aurelion Sol as well.
Yep. And this Alistar ban, I don't think that's what red wants here. See if they can spot the Rel or the Rakan. I prefer Rel for red because Rakan into Leona is a bit rougher in lane. But you do have Draven, so you're going to be strong in lane anyway. Okay, Malphite. Actually, Malphite R5 could have ended up being disgusting. So yeah. I respect that ban.
That's a good ban.
Yeah, it opens up some picks in top lane that you couldn't have picked as well before. Like, if you were going to pick something that would give Malphite an easy lane, then... well, enjoy that. Nautilus? Okay, yeah, talked about Nautilus. I think that's probably the 3rd best pick for red here, after Rel, Rakan.
Yeah.
I do think the Draven Naut is just, like, in this case, a weaker version of the MF Rel, or MF Amumu, or something like that.
Yep. Yeah, you could also go Nico routes as well.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. I don't like Udyr here, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's trapped by Jarvan ult if Jarvan ever gets that off, but he wants to use it to engage. Also, Udi is a champion kind of like Olaf. Like, he gets a lot stronger if he has an enchanter. We're not going to have that. We also have a lot of magic damage on blue side right now. So we're looking for some physical top to blind, which would be Cassante, but Cassante's banned. Ornn again, magic damage champ. Cho'Gath again, magic damage champ.
Oh, Cho'Gath. I mean, I think you just Vayne here.
Vayne. You could Vayne. You could... I think Aatrox looks really nice as well.
Oh, you could Aatrox. Yeah, that's a good shout. Oh, you can do set. Holy shit, set.
You could do set as well and just ult the Cho'Gath onto the backline, into the Jarvanol.
Yep. Immobile backline.
Oh, yeah. There it is.
Okay, that's bonus points.
I think it's like one of those things that sounds a little cooler than it is. I think champs like Yone or Aatrox would have been better picks on R5, but it is a good pick on R5.
Yeah.
No doubt about that.
And like Sion specifically, these two champs are just really good for set.
Oh, bro, I think I just found the best pick on R5. Imagine Gnar in this draft.
Gnar.
Okay. Gnar into Cho'Gath, and then, I mean, it's just Gnar Jarvan.
Yeah. Could be also a Trundle angle.
But despite us theory crafting what the best R5 possible would be, I do still think this is a decisive red victory. I think Asol hates his existence this game. Ashe also hates her existence. Cho'Gath is literally a meatball that gets ulted onto people and kills them. And also it's 3 winning lanes for... Well, I mean, mid... The thing about Aurelion Sol into Orianna is that he can win it in a 1v1. If you went into a custom game and played it, he can win it. But once you start getting junglers involved, a lot of the time, like Jarvan Ori, a lot scarier for Asol. If he ever doesn't have flash, he can just die. So I would call it 2.5 winning lanes for blue. But the two that are winning for red, I mean. But the two that are winning really hard. So I think this is quite a decisive red victory.
Yeah. I'd say 80-20 easily.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe like an 85. I'm going to go 85.
All right, fair enough.
You thinking 80-20?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, that concludes the drafts for Group A. I'm just going to ping Group D quickly to let them know that we're going for break after this little discussion. And then they can get themselves ready. There's You Must Believe, and there's Moim in 10. Wrapping up Group C now. About 5 minutes for Group D to start. Okay, so Group C. At the end of the first round robin, we have NUODAICUBASHER with 450 points. I think this was a very, very good performance from NUODAICUBASHER in every single one of his drafts. Commandingly. I think that's the most points anyone has got, right? Sezia's got 430. We got 400 on Unkraut in Group A. But yeah, commanding first place for NUODAI, and he would really have to mess this up to not get out of groups in the second day. And then we have Yeondu. It's fairly structured, actually. We have like a pretty decisive first place, a pretty decisive second place, and then third, and then Syko in fourth is not far behind. I do think in this group, it's kind of like Yeondu, Syko, and Maton playing for second place here, with NUODAI probably getting out. Especially if he carries on drafting the way he did today. Okay, so that concludes Group C. Do you have any final thoughts before we go for a 5-minute break?
Not really.
Okay, lovely.
It was good draft.
All right, great. Yeah, we'll see you guys back in 5 minutes then, and then we'll start Group D. Thanks for watching, guys.